I always wanted to think big, grow the business as rapidly as I could. To anybody out there, I would say, if you haven't got a mentor, go and get one. People are prepared to give their small amount of help for free because we all know that if somebody helps us, then we can help somebody else at a later stage.
Richard Harpin, the founder of HomeServe, a business he grew from zero to over 4 billion in value.
Anybody can do it. If I can make it, anybody else can, particularly if you follow that framework, get a mentor, follow those steps, then the only thing that's holding you back is yourself.
Welcome to Screw It, Just Do It, the show for those who decided to screw it and just did it. I'm Alex Chisnall, host of this podcast and co-founder of the Festival of Entrepreneurs at the NEC in Birmingham this October 8th and 9th. This is the podcast that brings you face-to-face with the entrepreneurs and business rebels who threw caution to the wind and built something extraordinary. Want to surround yourself with 5,000 to 10,000 entrepreneurs who've already decided to screw it and just do it? The Festival of Entrepreneurs is happening October the 8th and 9th at the NEC Birmingham, and I'm giving away free 2-day passes to my listeners. 200 plus speakers, 90 plus sessions, billion-pound entrepreneurs sharing their real stories, not theory, but the actual strategies they use to scale. Head to festivalofentrepreneurs.co.uk right now and claim your free pass, because the best networking happens when you're in the room with people who've already decided to screw it and just did it. So welcome to another episode of Screw It, Just Do It with me, Alex, and my guest today is Richard Harpin, the founder of HomeServe, a business he grew from zero to over 4 billion in value. One of the UK's most successful entrepreneurs, Richard is now on a mission to back the next generation of founders through Growth Partner and Business Leader. He's also the author of How to Make a Billion in 9 Steps. So if you're looking to learn how to scale, exit, and reinvest with purpose, this is the episode for you. Richard, welcome.
Thank you, Alex. Great to be here.
Pleasure to have you. So look, I wanted to kick things off with the fact that you built a £4 billion business. You've now written a blueprint so others can do it too. Can you briefly outline the 9 steps, or at least some of those steps that you've identified before we dive a little deeper?
Yeah, and this was looking back at my career and the things I know now, the 9 things that I wish I'd known at the start. And if I had, maybe I could have built HomeServe in 15 years rather than 30. Step number 1 is copy and pivot. We're taught at school that copying homework is bad. And my belief is that copying in business is good. Copy, test, improve. You need to have a unique selling proposition, but doesn't mean you can't, as a starting point, copy somebody else's business. And that's certainly what I did. I wasn't clever enough to invent a business model, but I copied Sutton Water's plumbing insurance cover, made it even better, and then rolled it out big. And that was the magic model that really worked at HomeServe.
Very interesting. Okay, and I read you aspired to be an entrepreneur from a very early age. What or who or both inspired you?
It was Lord Hanson, and he flew a helicopter in to have Sunday lunch with his parents, who lived in the big bungalow at the end of the cul-de-sac in Huddersfield, where I was born. And I remember seeing that helicopter and saying, I want one of those. And my father said, well, don't be in the civil service like me earning a pittance. You need to run your own business. So that was my motivation from the age of 4 or 5. Found out later that it was Lord Hanson. And that's what drove me to, I think, set up and develop 5 different businesses, all different levels of success or failure before I found the magic model of HomeServe.
And was the ambition at the very start, that big to build a £1 billion company, which very few people actually get to do? Or did it evolve into that over time, Richard?
Yeah, it was really just to come up with something that would be successful and sustainable, and that I would enjoy running. Never set out with that ambition of saying, oh, it's got to be a £1 billion value business.
If you're enjoying this conversation and thinking, I need to be around more people like this, then I've got the perfect solution for you. The Festival of Entrepreneurs is where 5,000 to 10,000 ambitious entrepreneurs come together to learn from the people who've actually done it. It's on October the 8th and 9th at the NEC in Birmingham, and I'm giving my listeners free 2-day passes. Real entrepreneurs, Real stories, real strategies. Exactly like what you're hearing right now, but live and in person. Go to festivalofentrepreneurs.co.uk and get your free 2-day pass before they're gone. And can you identify a screw it, just do it moment that you decided that now is the time to leave the corporate world, to actually go out on your own, or was it like a series of moments?
It was one, really. I joined Procter & Gamble in marketing in Newcastle. I worked on a number of brands there. I'd been there for nearly 4 years. I had kept my entrepreneurial hand in with a business partner. We bought houses in Newcastle, refurbished them, let them out to young professionals like us at 40 quid a room, including renting out the dining rooms in these houses. And the biggest problem, for some reason, all the tenants tended to call on a Friday evening saying there's water pouring out of a radiator, or a block drain in the backyard, or the boiler's broken down, and that would always be in the winter. And you could not get a Geordie plumber for love nor money in Newcastle on a Friday night. They're all out drinking. So that was the opportunity. And so that was the moment which said, I need to give up my full-time job, and we'll put my life savings with Jeremy's into setting the business up. And that was a emergency plumbing business originally called A1 Fast Fix. And we put in £50,000.
Is that together or each?
That was together. Get an investor. And don't do it when we got one, which was after we'd run out of money. The bailiffs had arrived to take away our office furniture because we didn't have enough money to pay the VAT man. Fortunately, we managed to borrow a bit of money from friends and family to keep the business afloat, but we needed an investor. And we went round every water company in the UK, thought they would be, there's a good link between a plumbing service and a water utility. We went round 15 of them and they all said no, with one exception, little water company north of Birmingham called South Staffs Water. And they said, we'll put in £500,000, but we want 52% of the equity. And so we had to go for it. It kept the business going, but I wouldn't recommend to anybody giving away majority control, more than half of your business, particularly in the very early days when we hadn't even proved the model.
And I'm guessing you felt that was the only offer on the table at that point in time. You'd had all these no's. What was the emotions like for you and Jeremy when you've got bailiffs knocking on the door and trying to take the furniture away? Because that's a hell of an experience.
It's that entrepreneurial determination and resilience which says we got to find a way through this. In the same way that it was those skills that, after we'd got the £500,000 investment, I grew the business bigger, but it was an emergency plumbing model that didn't work. People only have a plumbing emergency every 5 years, so there was no repeat business. The cost of Yellow Pages was too high. And when we were down to the last £10,000, somebody called me and said, there's this water company in Surrey that have developed plumbing insurance cover. And I copied that model, tested it, it worked. And that was the turnaround from nearly running out of money again, burning through the whole of the £500,000, to making £750,000 profit in the following year, with the right model that could then be scaled in many countries over time.
What was the kind of early growth like for HomeServe then, once you got started on that business? Talk me through that. What was like early years like how long did it take you to get traction, and how long do you think you went from very much startup to scale up?
So the business grew pretty quickly thereafter. I think by the year 2000, we'd got 1 million members, and this was a UK only business by that stage, and it had got up to revenue of around £50 million.
Wow. And how many years into the journey was that, Richard?
That was 8 years in.
8 years in. Wow, that's pretty impressive. What did it? What was the emotion like when you're signing up those companies that had said no to you initially? It must have been pretty satisfying.
Yeah, that was great to find a a model that they would sign up to. And I think it's down to one of my behaviours and values, which is persistence pays. And I think that's really important. Eventually, you can get a deal. You've just got to be really determined.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, that's like for me, it's like one of the top qualities. I think just until somebody physically tells you to go away and get a restraining order, just don't take no for an answer. Just keep plugging away.
This is the one that I think is the most difficult for us entrepreneurs to accept, and that is hire your replacement. So I was 8 years in, and I got a guy that I brought in who'd done business development really well, helped me sign some of the utility partners. And I think he could do a better job at running HomeServe UK than me. I was a rubbish chief exec. Called him into my office and said, Jonathan, congratulations, you're promoted. I'm giving you my job. That then meant I could work on the business rather than in the business, and enabled the UK to keep growing, to deliver the right quality of customer service, and then freed me up to think about, I wonder if HomeServe would work in a foreign country. And it did eventually, and our first international development was in France.
That conversation just proves something. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So here's my challenge: upgrade your network. The Festival of Entrepreneurs is happening October the 8th and 9th, and I'm giving my listeners free 2-day passes to get in the room with 5,000 to 10,000 entrepreneurs who are actually building something. This is where the risk takers, the game changers, and the people who've decided to screw it and just do it come for inspiration, education, and connection. Don't just listen to their success stories, go meet the people living them. Grab your free pass now, because the biggest risk isn't taking a chance, it's missing the opportunity entirely. If this conversation resonated with you, don't just sit there, act on it. Make sure you follow or subscribe for more game-changing conversations, and remember, the only thing standing between you and your business breakthrough is the decision to screw it and just do it.